TCI Channel 63 presents the TCI Sports High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Tonight, it's the Adams Highlanders taking on the Ferndale Eagles. Hello, everyone. Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson. Happy New Year to all of you. And, Joe, what a great game to start out this 1995 season. Two teams that match up pretty good record-wise, but now is the time to see if they match up on the floor.
Right, well, on paper, everyone would think, well, Ferndale's got the better team. Adams, 2 losses, one of them to Berkeley, which is borderline top 10 in the state, a game which they really had in hand all throughout until the very tail end of the fourth quarter. They just couldn't sink some free throws. Not a bad team, really an inexperienced team that needs a boost of confidence. A big win over Ferndale would be that boost that they need for the rest of the year. Okay, and the Highlanders have a person that they've been riding on, and that is Lester Witt, and he's the one that's going to be guarding Jarrett Stevens tonight. Yeah, Lester Witt's got his hands full. He's 6'4", he's extremely quick, he's their best player. They're going to open up in a man-to-man defense, and Lester's going to have Jarrett. And he's going to have to try to contain him as much as he can. No one shuts Jarrett Stevens down unless you get him into foul trouble. And maybe Lester can get some points on the offensive end and cause that. But he's going to have his hands full both ways. If he gets into foul trouble defensively, watch for them to go to a zone. And on the other side is Jarrett Stevens. He's the one that Ferndale has been riding on the past few years. And they do have a strong guard in Phillips, but Jarrett Stevens is the guy they go to. Yeah, Jarrett Stevens is the main man. 4th year as a starter on the varsity. One of the top 10 players in the state. One of the top players in the country, probably top 100 or so. Also an exceptional football player. He's going to have his choice of scholarships in both sports. Probably has a better future in football, but it sounds like he's going to go with basketball, at least at this time. 22 points, 14 rebounds a game. And all you have to do is see what they did against Murray Wright. Defending state champs, Robert Traylor, pretty much considered the best player in the state. Well, Jarrett Stevens led the way to an upset over them, so you know he's the man tonight. Okay, there you have it, and we'll be back with the tip-off of the 1995 season right after these messages. Stay with us.
Where are Pat and Brad going to be this month? You'll find out on the next edition of Roadshow Video. Each month, Pat and Brad take you to a new and interesting location. Check out what Southeast Michigan has to offer and watch some of the best hit videos on television. That's Roadshow Video, tonight at 9 on TCI 63.
Welcome back to Ferndale High School. Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson here for the kickoff of this 1995 basketball season. And here are the records last year for Adams and for the Ferndale Eagles. Pretty much even when you look at their overall records.
Yeah, Adams did lose a lot more to graduation, though. They lost their entire backcourt, and even as Coach Belota told us beforehand, some of the seniors they have now really didn't get a lot of on-court experience last year.
16-5, 16-8 overall for both teams. Currently, 2-2. They have not played in the conference. 2-2 for Adams, 4-3 for the Eagles, as you see. So this game does mean a lot when you're looking at overall statistics. Could get Adams back on track.
Get them back on track. And Ferndale, they really need this just to keep things going. They started off slow this year, losing, as you see Ken Belote, the Adams head coach. Ferndale started out losing to Country Day, the best Class B team in the state with the best sophomore in the state. And there's Don McNeil. Don McNeil. And they lost to De La Salle, which we think we were going to talk about, that they lost them in overtime by a point, and that was mainly because Jarrett Stevens got into foul trouble early, which has been a problem in the past with him.
There you see the starting lineups: Van Robes, Elliston, Zarnecki, Crichton, Witt, Jones, Pope, Stevens, Phillips, and Whitmore for the Eagles.
And I mentioned the other loss was to Clarkston, who sounds like an upset, but Clarkston's ranked in the top 10 in the entire state, so that's not as big an upset as you'd think.
And the Eagles come out with it. Rashad Phillips starting it. Stevens in the paint, turns around, it's short. And the rebound goes to Adams. In there was number 24, Lester Witt, knocking it to one of his players. Here's a shot from outside, won't go. So both teams a little rusty going down the court, and this time Stevens makes it for sure.
Yeah, well, that's something Ferndale's going to try and do, is run it on them as much as they can, keep it into a full court game. And there's the turnover right away.
Turnover and made good by Ray Pope.
Yeah, Ray Pope
One of the more consistent players on this team.
Well, he just took it out of his hands and went in for the easy layup. He had been their leading scorer up until recently, still averaging 18 points a game, a transfer from Southfield High.
Driving inside and getting the layup to go is Van Robeys. Chuck Van Robeys for the Highlanders' first 2 points.
And they took it right at Jarrett Stevens. You know, we mentioned before they lost to De La Salle by having Stevens get into early foul trouble. And we've seen over the years, if he gets into early foul trouble, he's usually not that effective throughout the game. And maybe by taking it inside, that's what they're trying to have happen.
Ferndale having trouble with it, and now the Highlanders lose it. Right back over to Pope. Pass trying to get back to Pope, and the steal by the Highlanders. Now on the give and go. And it's good. Brad Crichton with his first 2, and it's all tied up at 4-4.
Well, perfect 3-on-2 fast break. They had an option there to go to either Lester Witt or to Crichton, and went to the open man underneath. I think the defenders thought they were going to go back to Witt, and it left an open layup.
Eagles work the perimeter now. Trying to get an opening inside to Stevens, and a foul call on Ryan Elliston, on the inside.
Elliston coming down trying to help out. And it was a good call. He bumped into him. You're going to have to double and maybe even triple Stevens and eventually end up in a zone where they'll try and you're not going to shut him down, try to neutralize him as much as possible.
Now the refs taking control down on the game. Don McNeil looking on and talking to his coaches down on the bench on the matchups. From outside, Pope. And some shoving underneath. And
let's see who they called this one on.
Looks like it was on the Eagles.
24.
Elvin Jones, the sophomore.
Elvin Jones, and one reason wondering who, they pointed in an area where Stevens and Jones were and just talked about early foul trouble.
Yeah.
So far, he's done a good job of avoiding it.
Here's your score, 4-4. Both teams still trying to get a rhythm going here. Inside, the turnaround won't go. And a foul underneath on Adams.
It should be on Zarnecki.
It's on Lester Witt, number 24.
Yeah, the ref pointed at Zarnecki and looked like you see him put the ball up. Let's see if we can see where the foul is. Well,
probably a little pushing in the back, not much there at all.
The second push on Zarnecki, either one of them was about the same, and either one of them could have been overlooked too.
Whitmore, Carlos Whitmore from outside. That goes out of bounds, and the Highlanders get it back.
Yeah, it went over and hit the basket support up top, so now the Highlanders going to try and run it again.
Elliston passing off. Won't get the roll over there on that side, and Stevens comes up with a rebound. Trying to get a fast break going down on the side to Rashad Phillips, and that was over his head.
Elliston probably should have given the ball back to Van Robeys. Instead, he pulled up for about a 10-foot jump shot, or really in between area about, trying to make that shot. You're almost better to be back farther.
Rashad impressed us last year, and he's grown a little bit since then, so it'll be even more dangerous. Here on the layup, Van Robeys with his fourth point makes it 6-4 Highlanders.
Well, Rashad, even when he was a freshman 2 years ago, when he looked like he was about 5'2" or something, he looked pretty good. Now he's, so experienced, and you can see there, he and Jarrett Stevens just know each other so well on the court. They're able to make things happen.
And Stevens comes right back to put his fourth point in to tie it right back up. 4:50, we're in the first quarter. This is not going down for Van Robeys, and here come the Eagles. Phillips, look at Stevens.
As we talked about how well they know each other, he didn't even have to look at him. He just flipped that up with his left hand, and Stevens took it down.
Phillips knew we were going to have some fun. He just kind of lofted it up in the air, and he knew right where Jarrett Stevens was going to be to make it 8-6. Van Robeys, baseline, no, nothing there. The pressure put on Zarnecki by Stevens.
Yeah, I think Stevens even got a piece of that one. There's a good pass by Witt.
Zarnecki having trouble getting the easy layups. That is a couple that he's missed just on that trip.
Hey, really, if Adams could make these 10-foot and in shots, they'd be winning by about 4 points instead of down by 2.
There seems to be a lid on the other end of the hoop, too.
I think, for Adams, though, being according to most people anyway, the underdog, probably should just, even though they threw that one away, keep doing what they're doing. They're getting the shots off that they want to get, and you've got to think that they're going to start falling. That's been a problem they've had all year, but again, that
part of lack of experience.
Both teams a little sloppy here in the early going. Let's take a look at that Rashad Phillips to Stevens slam here.
Nice little lefty alley-oop, and
the fact that they had a 4-on-2 break too didn't help. It didn't hurt much as they were on the move. From outside, nobody is hot from outside. That time Elvin Jones couldn't hit, and the Highlanders come right back. Adams looking to tie it. They're down by 2. Baseline move, dishing off. Zarnecki hits a tough one there. Sometimes not using that backboard. That's a tough shot.
Well, from the baseline, I don't know if he really could have. That's Lester Witt making that play happen. He took it baseline and drew all the defenders to him, and that gave Zarnecki an open shot. Wasn't much pressure on him when he took it.
Tough shot from the lane there.
Elliston got a piece of it.
Yeah. And the Highlanders come right back. There's Crichton. And talking to Ken Belote before the game, if Crichton hits from outside, they could have a ball game here.
Yeah, that's one of the things. You want to get him going early, and suddenly Adams does have a lead.
If he can get his confidence going, he can hit those shots. Adams up 10-8 over Ferndale right now. Ferndale showing good patience in working it inside. Highlanders come back with a rebound as Van Robes comes down with it. Whistle and a foul on Zarnecki.
Yeah, he came over. It was a kind of a Bill Lambier type of foul. He came over and set the pick and was not set when he set the pick, if you will. An easy call for the official.
The Highlanders start 3 seniors and 2 juniors for Ken Belote. On the other side, the Eagles start 3 juniors, a senior and a sophomore. So if you're looking at experience, the Adams Highlanders have the edge there. But really, even those players that are seniors didn't get much playing time last year.
I was going to say, I don't know if they have an edge in experience because some of the younger guys at Ferndale have probably had more playing time.
Yeah. There's a 3 for Carlos Whitmore.
When we know Rashad Phillips is 3rd year varsity, and Pope, even though it's his 1st year at Ferndale, got all kinds of playing time at Southfield.
Crichton working the perimeter. Inside, Zarnecki being guarded by Stevens. There's the drive and off balance, but right there to put it back in is Lester Witt with his first 2 points.
Yeah, well, Van Robes tried to put it off lefty, and Witt, with his quickness, really didn't have to box out. He just got underneath, and there was no way for a Ferndale player to get that rebound.
12-11 now your score.
That's
Stevens with 6 of the 11 points for the Eagles.
Yeah, Zarnecki just fronted him and took the ball away. You know, from up here, it's easy to see that was coming, and obviously the Ferndale players didn't see it.
Under a minute now here in the first quarter, and it's been a close one. Underneath, Zarnecki now hitting the easy layups, and that's his 4th point, and balanced scoring for the Highlanders now.
Yeah, that was simply just getting behind Jarrett Stevens, and Jarrett lost track of him for just a second, and that's all he needed to get open for the shot, and those shots that weren't falling before are finally getting in. And likewise for Ferndale.
Elvin Jones gets his first 2 points. Highlanders now getting some pressure put on. The Eagles drop back.
First quarter.
They're very quick. Not too many timeouts. Not too many stoppage of
no
play.
free throws.
And no free throws. Here we go. Now they're going to start moving. 10 seconds and a foul there. It looked like it was on number 33, Ray Pope. Substitutions ready to come in too. We haven't seen any in the first quarter, and here they come. Here's the foul.
Let's take a look here. That's Van Robes with the ball, and yeah, that's just Pope holding on to him. That's something the refs have to call.
Zarnecki heads out, 14. That is
44.
Marchania comes in.
Well, Zarnecki, they're probably just buying him an extra minute or so of rest. I'm sure he'll be back in very soon.
And in there, number 21, Omari Rideout for the Eagles. Phillips from outside hits it. And that three, winds it up. Phillips hits his first points of the game, and it's a three-pointer. What a clutch player that kid is.
Yeah, you know, in this play, I don't know if you take a look at this. Jarrett Stevens just kind of flips it off to him, and you think there's nothing happening. Jarrett sets a pick for him and gets him the open shot. I thought they were kind of making that up as they go, and it looks like that was almost a set play.
Yeah. Rashad Phillips, very impressive. And let's go down to Don McNeil's huddle and the Eagles.
But your man's supposed to be matched up with your man. They inbound the ball to him every time. You go with him, just go with it. They can get the first pass from him, we're in good shape.
All right, let's go work harder, baby. Let's go. Loose ball.
Offense. Yeah. Amari. Elba. We got Ray in the corner. And this is Rashad. Come in this way, Rashad. As you're coming in, take a look right here at Elba as you're coming. Now he's going to try to relocate. We're going to the corner. Going in. Corner in. This man here, if you can step in there, will take it. On the other side, you can skip it all the way to Omari. Omari, you got that shot. Look at Jared flashing. You got it? He's going to make that zone move. Hold on.
Join Pat and Bubba. Pat's on the right and Bubba's on the left as they take you to a new and interesting place each month on Roadshow Video. The guys have a show coming up on the Renaissance Festival, so tune in a few weeks to see that, but they'll also be right after tonight's game, so tune in to see that too.
They have that new Weezer.
Handsome photo, don't you?
Oh,
think
yeah.
of that?
Do they have the Weezer video on there yet?
The Weezer?
Weezer.
I don't know. I have to make sure our director lets us know who
Okay.
the Weezer,
Well,
Weezer is.
it's a good video.
Okay.
The Renaissance guys now, aren't they?
They are.
Well, yeah, pretty good.
Dapper. Highlanders come right back. Witt puts it up, gets his own rebound, goes right back with it, and
Off his foot.
Off his foot, and good call down there.
But great job of following his shot. And once again, they're getting shots all within the 15-foot range. And they're doing a great job of really executing their offense, except for putting the ball in the hole. And that's just something that you can't force that to happen. You just got to hope that you start getting into a rhythm.
Eagles working it on the perimeter, trying to get something inside, and nothing opens up, so Rashad from outside can't get it to roll. It was close. Inside, working it strong, and a foul underneath. It looks like it's on Witt.
And that would be 2 on him, I believe.
Yep. So what we thought might happen at the beginning of the game is the opposite is happening, and Witt is getting in foul trouble.
Now the scoreboard says it's first. I just heard the PA announcer though say second, and the scoreboard did switch.
Yeah,
So that is his second foul. That's a big loss right now because he's going to have to sit, if not for the rest of the half, for probably the next 4 or 5 minutes anyway.
Elvin Jones misses his first, and the first free throw that we've seen tonight.
Elvin Jones, just a sophomore, getting a good situation for a sophomore where he can be a starter, contribute quite a bit as he has, and yet know that you don't have to be the main man behind as long as you got Jarrett Stevens out there. And next year he can contribute a lot more with teaming up with Rashad Phillips.
Here's Zarnecki, who's in the glass, puts it down. He's got 6 points.
And as good as he's played so far, he knows he's got to pick it up for the next few minutes while Lester Witt's on the bench. And they're going with Van Robe's checking Stevens right now. And
Baseline nothing, and Stevens tips it right back in.
yeah, that might even be a zone because all of a sudden you had another guy guarding him, and neither one of them could get any position on him. He just used his size and his strength to box out and get the easy tip in.
From the Highlanders, Zarnecki easy underneath, and he'll get another shot.
Perfect execution right now. I think I'm surprised Ferndale hasn't made any kind of defensive adjustments. You see the pump fake, get Stevens up in the air. Then Zarnecki goes up, and the foul comes from behind. That's number 21, I believe, for Ferndale. It'll be Omari.
Right out.
Yep.
There's Zarnecki. He's got 8 points, tied with Stevens for the lead, and now he comes up with his 9th at the free throw line. And it's all tied up, 19 apiece.
I got Stevens out in three-point land. I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to be shooting from out there.
They might try to free him up on when he breaks to the hoop. Ball goes out, and the Eagles will get it back.
Yeah, see, the one bad thing, at least I think, when you start pulling him out like that, though, is you don't have to have the rest of your defense crunching in the middle. You only have to have one guy down there. Whereas if he's down low like he is now, everybody's a little more packed into the key.
Here's Stevens, up and in.
And that's where he makes his shots from. The other thing, when you have everybody packed into the key, then when he kicks it back out to Rashad Phillips or to Pope or anybody else, they've got an easier shot.
Highlanders work it inside. Zarnecki and a whistle. 3 seconds, and that's a call on Van Robes.
That was a good call. Anyway, what I was saying, again with Stevens, if he's out, basically to make it more simple, if he's out in three-point territory, you don't have to double team him. Leave him by himself. If he makes a three-point shot on you, great. He's capable of doing it, but fine. Give it to him. That's the same as if Rashad Phillips underneath on you. You let him try to post you up. Take away the guy's strength, and it'll hurt the rest of the team.
Eagles work the perimeter again. Look for a shot, baseline, and the foul. Ray Pope will go to the line.
That could be on any one of 3 guys.
Number 14, Joe Marchinian.
They went on Joe Marchinian. That's his first. And Pope showed some good quickness in getting himself free for that jump shot. I'm sure one of the things that if they don't discuss it at halftime, they'll look into for future games. When they came down with 3 guys on him, all he had to do was kick it back up to Rashad Phillips, who had an open 3. Yeah, and that's something, they are in their 8th game, whereas Adams is in their 5th. You start to pick up on that stuff as you get closer to the midway point of the season.
Pope only able to capitalize on one of the 2 free throws, and it's 22-19 now with 5:30 left in the second. Driving to the hoop, and he won't get the shot, but he'll go to the line, and that's Van Robes.
Eagle foul.
It seems like both teams really want to keep this a full-court run-and-gun game.
That's his second personal foul.
Neither team really taking off with this one.
And that's right out second foul.
2 shots. Van Robes. Chuck Van Robes.
See, Rashad Phillips came over and, well, you could have called that one on either one of them.
From that angle, I don't know if
yeah.
Phillips even touched him, though. I think it was definitely right out. He got his arm in there, yeah.
I'm just thinking, at the college level or the NBA level where the refs pay attention to this sort of stuff, one guy's got 1 foul, the other guy's got none, you get called on the guy with no fouls.
Van Robes hits his first and cuts the lead down to 2 for the Eagles.
Of course, by that token, if this was the NBA, then Lester Witt and Jarrett Stevens would get no fouls called on them.
He makes them both, and it's a 1-point game, 22-21. Phillips had some room to work, slows down, but then takes the 3. His second 3.
Man, I mean, he had Rideout. It looked like he had him for an easy layup and thought better of it. Maybe it wasn't there from the angles that he had on the passing lane. Then he looked around and realized that the defense all backed up to guard all the passes and took the open 3.
Inside, Zarnecki open for 2.
Give Brad Crichton a lot of credit for setting just a semi-pick that allowed him to come around and get open for an easy layup. Zarnecki's just having a great game inside.
Back to a 2-point game, 25-23. Inside, knocking it out of bounds is Marchenian. Now some substitutes coming in for the Highlanders. It'll be Witt back in, and number 40, Stan Frencher. That is a sophomore point guard from the JV brought up.
Keep an eye on Lester Witt and just see what they do with him defensively. I think you have to keep him away from Stevens. Yeah, and they did. And Stevens got the easy layup.
Stevens again. Total of 12 points so far in this first half. Inside, Zarnecki. He's been getting those. Yeah, he's been hot.
Pump fake, tried to get Stevens up, and give Jared a lot of credit. He's not. See a lot more experience in him this year, and a lot more. It's not so much intelligence, just instinct, where he's not picking up fouls. I think a year ago he'd have gotten a foul in that last play.
Van Robes works it outside. Shot, no good. Taken there by Jones. Phillips for 3. He's got it. Nothing but net.
Yeah, he's
3 3-pointers has gotten him 9 points.
Yeah, he's on a little bit of a roll right now, and I think you get the ball to him now. And again, just watching Jarrett Stevens on the defense, it's not, like I say, defense isn't as much about the intelligence part of it as it is the instinct, and he's definitely got it.
Phillips making it happen.
That whole team's got the instincts right now. And Ray Pope, who, for a guy who's new, sure does fit in with these guys pretty good.
Phillips making it happen. Hit the three, made the steal, and the assist to Ray Pope. And it's 32-25, and the Eagles starting a little bit of a run here. Zarnecki with 13 points. If we're looking at points, here's the steal by Phillips, and watch him just look right over.
Oh, yeah. Well, he suckered the defense into thinking he's going up for the layup, which a good point guard does, and the defense has to go up with him, because if they don't, then he will get the easy layup.
Highlanders in trouble. Let's go down to Ken Belote.
Two guys in front of him on the out-of-bounds play. Don't play the man out of bounds. And the second thing is we got to hustle down the floor and find Phillips. He's hit a couple of threes back-to-back, and he's feeling good about it. We got to get a hand in his face. Okay, Ryan's got you right now, bringing you. Let's play hard. It's our ball here. If they're going to press us here, run the four-breaker. Okay, and get it up the floor. And let's go two-man again. Come on, boys. We got to make a run.
Hey, it's the Master Anglers, and they're right here on Channel 63. Don't forget to tune into the Master Angler program, and featuring tips and information on fishing. And it's hosted by Mark Gomez. You can watch it right here on TCI 63. And there we see, what do we see there, Joe?
That's infinity there. You see, that goes this way, and that comes at us. I don't know how to put an arrow at us, but it's coming at us.
Oh, okay. So we're going to be on his.
We're on his, and that can go back and forth, kind of like mirrors opposite each other. That could go forever and ever. I don't know what the symbol is for infinity, but that's what that would have been.
Kind of like if you had two mirrors pointed at each other, just kind of go on.
It would be really cool. Hey, I thought it was Master Angler. He has to share that title now?
No, he talks to many Master Anglers. I
so
cleared that up with him.
All right, so the S is correct. That was 22.
That's Crichton.
Crichton, yeah. Well, he deserves a three-point. He's been setting some nice picks out there and doing just some of the subtle things. He only get assists for those picks, so get him some points anyway.
Good work underneath by Elvin Jones, and he gets fouled, and he'll go to the line.
And Crichton and Zarnecki both got him, and just have to wait for the officials' call.
So Crichton with his three. Here's the foul coming up on Jones underneath. Jones gets the rebound, and he's hammered right there.
Hammered is a...
I thought he was hit a little harder from behind, but...
Yeah, that was the other guy.
Yeah.
The guy they called it on didn't get him too much, but... second foul on Zarnecki, and now they've got, their top two players, especially height-wise, with two fouls.
Look at Jones hitting both, and it's 34-28 now. Just under 3 minutes left here in the first half. Neither team really running away with it, although the Eagles did make a run. Crichton working on the outside, then passing off. Van Robes now trying to work it in the corner. From outside, and it's a three. Ryan Elliston with his first points of the game, and he makes it a big one with 3 points.
Great outside shot by Elliston. He had an open man breaking along the baseline, and you got to watch. Ferndale's kind of tricking them with some double teaming out there, but if you can hit the threes, that's going to eliminate all that.
And it's down to a 3-point game, 34-31. Whistle and 3-second violation underneath.
3-second violation.
Kind of a strange signal the official gave, but
I understood what he meant.
Yeah, he was trying to say 3 seconds.
Don McNeil telling his team a little more movement underneath.
Well, they had a 7-point lead a couple minutes ago, and hey, if you can get Elliston another triple, you got a tie game.
Nearing the 2-minute mark, as you see, and it's a 3-point game right now. Crichton, baseline, Van Robes up and in.
I don't know what to
put a lot of arc on that when he had to.
That's when you're playing a horse and the other guy's got an S and you need him to get an E. You throw that shot up.
1:45 and counting. Phillips dishing out to Pope. Pope in the paint, looks for room, nothing there. And he gets his own pass.
Well, you can argue that the defense touched it, but I think that's a good call. Let's take a look here. It's going to dribble in, and we're not going to be able to see it from here, I don't think, too well.
Yep. No,
no one touched it. That's just a situation, really.
Crichton for three. Got it.
Wow.
Brad Crichton with his second three-pointer of this quarter, and the Highlanders get the lead back after being down by 7.
Yeah, it was, 32-25? just a couple minutes ago.
Phillips, he wants to put that to an end real quick with his fourth three-pointer.
And, you know, we heard Ed Below talking about that in that last timeout, and they eliminated it for a couple minutes, and the minute Phillips got an open shot, he took it and made it.
Now Crichton working out with Van Roves. Almost throwing it away there. Elliston almost throws it away, and he does. There's a slam.
Wow.
Elvin Jones for 2, and he made sure it went down. And the Eagles up by 3, 39-36.
Yeah, you know, that last possession, Adams seemed to suddenly get a little more conservative than they had been, and it hurt him.
Elliston, not a good move there as he completely missed the net.
So you come back and hurry the shot, which kind of does tend to happen at all levels, too. And I'll see if Ferndale, I don't know if they've held onto the ball for 20 seconds yet on a possession. We'll see if they do try to hold for the last shot.
Yeah. Hey, watch for Phillips. Watch for Phillips or Stevens.
Yeah, I'd do what they did at the end of the first quarter. Set that pick and get him open. But we're down to 7 seconds now.
Yep, here we go. Phillips trying to get somebody open. Give it back to Phillips. Phillips going to take it from way out. He's got it!
Well, yeah, that's how you diagram that play. That's what you want.
I would have given him 4 points for that one.
That's out in that Dan Marley range, I think. Wow.
I'll tell you, if you're a coach, let him take it from there.
That's a coaching genius there called that play. He knows it. Let's see how much farther away. Look at that.
Rashad Phillips.
I mean, that's a good 10 feet past the three-point line.
Well past.
That's not only NBA three-point. That's old NBA three-point last year.
Rashad Phillips has made 5 three-pointers, and that's all he's made is three-pointers.
Well, yeah, if he takes it 2, I'd bench him.
There's your score at halftime. The Ferndale Eagles, with the help of Rashad Phillips and his three-pointers, 42. The Adams Highlanders, 36. We'll be back with halftime stats for you right after this.
Oakland Press Perspective with Neil Monroe is an informative talk show that discusses issues often overlooked by broadcast stations. Neil Monroe, the editor of the Oakland Press newspaper, will keep you abreast on hot topics, events, and issues taking place in Oakland County. So for news you can use, join Neil Monroe every week on the Oakland Press Perspective, Friday night at 8:30 on TCI 63.
Halftime at Ferndale High School. Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson, and there's your score, 42-36. Let's take a look at some of the halftime stats for you before we get started. And here they are, 15 of 22 from the field, 16 of 24 for Ferndale, 67%, pretty close there. Free throws, 3 of 3, 4 of 6. You can see the percentages. Turnovers, pretty much even, and rebounds pretty much even, as you see there.
And I'll tell you, the big thing we don't see is three-point shooting, all by Rashad Phillips. So let's take a look at this dunk first on the breakaway. It was part of the run that ended it for Ferndale at the end of the half.
That was Elvin Jones, and then from outside, Brad Crichton, 2 of his threes from the outside.
That was part of the run that got Adams back into it.
Right. And now the Highlanders come up with a turnover themselves. 42-36 as we just start the third quarter here. And a turnover, no.
Oh, they got a break.
Hands
yeah.
of number 22, and that is Chris McNeil in there now.
Good call, but they got a break, and Lester Witt had Zarnicki open and just made a bad pass. And I'm sure he knows it too. It's not bad by a lot, but just enough to mess up the play.
There's a steal and a kick called there on Phillips. So again, the Highlanders get it back. And Roves up top, trying to take it around the right side, and nothing there. Now Crichton. Crichton with 2 3-pointers, with a total of 10 points. Inside is Zarnicki, lost it. Zarnicki leading the way for the Highlanders with 13 points. Right behind him is Crichton with 10 and Van Roves with 8. For the Eagles now, Rashad Phillips, he leads all scorers with 15 points, and right behind him is Jared Stevens with 12.
And right now, I know you come into the game trying to stop Jarrett Stevens, and you can't neglect him by any means, but they've got to prevent those three-pointers from Phillips.
From outside, that's number 21, Omari Rideout.
Of course, if you get a third guy going, you're in trouble. To be honest, you're not at this level. You're not going to stop a team with 3 guys going. So you better hope that Rideout doesn't get too hot if you're Adams. And if you're Ferndale, you hope he just gets on fire.
Zarnecki over to Elliston inside. Back out, and the ball taken by the Eagles. Here's Phillips with a layup.
Yeah, if he dunks, we'll go home now. That play was set up by Jarrett Stevens. He won't get anything on the stats for it. He didn't block anything, but Witt knew he couldn't get a shot off, so he tried to throw a pass away and literally threw it away and set up the fast break for the Eagles.
And it's the biggest lead right now for the Eagles, 46-36. Inside, Zarnecki getting the shot, but he was pushed from behind.
Good call. And that's the overplay by Ferndale, and it's something Adams the last couple times down has been trying to do. It's what they did early in the game. If you take a look here, if you can freeze it right here, you can see right here he's going to come around. He's going to hit an open Zarnecki when the defense collapses. And we'll see if the play's there. Watch the defense come down. He's got Zarnecki there. What you couldn't see on the replay is Phillips pushing him in the back. But Jarrett Stevens has to do that. He's got to come over and try to double team, but when he does, it's going to leave the weak side open.
Here's Zarnecki. He made his first shot at the line back in the second quarter. This time misses his first here. And free throws have not been coming easy for Ken Belote and the Highlanders this year.
We talked about how it was 35 to 20 or 30. I forget what it was, 32-27 or something like that. It was a 7-point lead. It was 36-35 at one point for Adams, and since then it's 11-1.
The whistle as Stevens was down there. Traveling call on the Eagles. Stevens had an easy layup down there at that one.
Can't get complacent when you got a big lead. They've already seen one evaporate on them.
Witt on the layup. Lester Witt with only his 4th point of the night.
Well, he got in early foul trouble. And I think he's going to have to do a little bit more in the second half.
And now a press being showed by Adams. And it does catch the Eagles off balance now.
Yeah, well, I don't think Ferndale will mind if Adams keeps pressing all night, though.
Yeah, a lot of shoving going on down there, and a whistle. Stevens going to the line.
If you're going to press, you're going to make it. One, you're always susceptible to giving up the easy fast break layup, but the other thing is that there's no one down there to rebound. And this time, Jarrett Stevens, nobody's going to box him out. Look at that. He's so big and tall and strong and everything. Zarnecki's 6'6". He doesn't have a chance one-on-one with him.
Stevens misses his first shot.
Of course, if he's not going to make his free throws, you probably do want to put him at the line.
Yeah.
There you go.
And he gets a second. Highlanders having trouble getting it in. Stolen by Phillips. Phillips right to the hole, and he puts it down.
Yeah, but that's only 2.
I think he's going for 2-pointers now in the second half. First half, all 3-pointers, and now layups.
Fourth quarter, maybe free throws?
Again, pressure being put on. And it happened again.
And we weren't able to see as we're watching the replay of Phillips with that, I guess, the play of the day.
Yeah.
Was another turnover. They just didn't inbound the ball. And now they got a timeout, and I think, Adams, they got to get things straightened out real quick.
Let's go down to the Highlander huddle.
What are you going to do? Release up the floor and just throw it over the top over there, okay? You got to work a little harder for me. We got to be able to release to you so you can jump up and get the ball. This is not pressure you haven't seen before. You know that. You know what to do under pressure. Okay, now let's gather ourselves here a little bit. I think we can make a little run going here. Play to our strengths. You're doing a good job of getting the ball inside and scoring. Let's kick it out once in a while so you can hit a couple of threes. All right, come on, let's regroup. Keep the pressure on. Got a wreck.
Our next game will be in a couple weeks. It'll be Clawson taking on Southlake. That's the game of the week, January 21st and 23rd at 7 p.m. right here on Channel 63.
That's not going to be like football season where we had a game every 5 weeks.
No, I hope not.
Okay.
I think all the bugs are worked out.
Cool.
Bringing better quality pictures to you.
Well, that's
Our
what,
new cameras.
that's what we were waiting for, you know.
And our truck is repaired, new generator. We're all set to go.
It was the U.S. Postal Service's fault, actually. They just didn't deliver the
Well,
stuff
that's
in
why
time.
the price
Yeah.
of the stamps went up.
Yeah, if you're wondering why you're paying more for mail, it's for our equipment. And that is the only reason. And Jarrett Stevens just picked up his his first personal foul. And 5 minutes into the third quarter, that's pretty good to go that long before you get your first foul. And double dribble now on Adams. And another turnover.
Rashad Phillips being double teamed. And they will pinch down on him, as Ken Below talked to us before the game. They want to put a little pressure on Phillips as he brings it down. That's had no pressure on him, but he gets a shot off, won't go, and here come the Highlanders.
Wide open shot, and just a little long. He had it on target. Now, I'm sure Coach McNeil's not upset with him for taking it. So he misses one.
Van Robeys now to Crichton. Crichton scoreless here in this second half. Van Robeys with a shot over his man, gets it.
Shooter's roll.
That's his 10th point. He's in double figures.
Right now, they've got to be careful not to give up any easy baskets down here. And Ferndale's just got to keep doing what they've been doing.
Phillips cross court, right back. And that was a sloppy pass taken by the Highlanders.
Yeah, and that's not what they've been doing. They've been finding the open man, and that was not the open man.
Witt tried to get it to go. Zarnecki, no, underneath. Here comes Stevens pushing it up. Phillips, one-on-one, knocked away. No whistle, but it goes out of
Just an
bounds.
play. And Zarnecki hurried that offensive rebound. And Phillips, on the other hand, I want to see if this actually went off of him or not. Oh, that was a good call. You couldn't tell from where we were. We're up in a corner. But you couldn't tell if that went off his leg or not. That was a good call by the official. And a good no call not to call a foul.
Here's McNeil in the paint. Short rebound. Stevens puts it down.
Can't handle him. At this level, with his size, very few people are going to be able to deal with him.
And back up to a 10-point lead. Stevens with 15 points on the night here in the third quarter. Whistle and a foul down there, and it looks like it's on McNeil, number 22, and that will be his second.
Foul to number 22, Chris McNeil. That's his first.
Up first.
Personal foul. Number 1.
Correction. I thought he had one
I
earlier.
can't believe the scoreboard up here.
Yeah. Crichton misses from way out.
Oh, he threw it away.
Jones trying to get it loose. Now another loose ball. And it's Jones
He's got an open man if he
battling
can-
Witt and
yeah.
a jump ball. Possession, it'll go
They'll go
in
Adam.
favor of Adams. So the hustle paid off.
Yeah, that was just a mess from the start.
Here we go. 3-minute mark coming up. Highlanders taking their time setting up. Inside. Back out Zarnecki loses it against Stevens.
Well, it's the same thing we saw before with them trying to go weak side, and Stevens that time didn't overcommit.
From outside. Crichton can't hit. Here they come on the run. Phillips trying to dish it off and does to Jones. Elvin Jones for 2.
Yeah, once again, we've seen both teams do this a couple times tonight. 3-on-2 fast break. They've both executed it perfectly.
The Highlanders, a whistle down. And we've got a pushing, it looks like.
Wow.
What was that?
I didn't see it.
Foul to number 23, Rashad
Phillips with the
Phillips.
foul.
Second personal foul. Number
3 subs come in now for the Highlanders. Number 54, Ray Bonas, and let's see,
Robinson in for Adams. Number
Ray
54,
Bonds and
Mike Nirvana.
trying to get all those numbers squared away. Number 32, Rogenson,
Man, some of these guys, we didn't see any of them in the first half.
and Frencher, Stan Frencher in.
Well, we saw him.
Okay, that's it.
There's
Those
a
are the
turnover.
three. Eagles get it back. They're dominating now, up by 12, 53-41 with 2:17 left in the third.
And Adams has got to come up with something on defense. The press wasn't working, and obviously they stopped going to it. It was giving up some easy shots. They're going to have to make some stops and create some easy opportunities. But talked before about if Rideout gets hot, forget it. You can't stop everybody.
Yeah, Rideout with his 4th point. Both baskets coming in here in the third. Good pressure put on by the Eagles.
Yeah, you've got like Ferndale's situation right now. For all that's happened in the 4th quarter, we haven't had to mention Ray Pope's name yet. He
Inside.
That's goaltending. That should be a goaltend. Oh, no.
2 shots, no goaltending call.
Let's take a look at this. So he gets it underneath to him. Just want to see if it hits the glass first. That's a good call. I guess that's a good call. He pinned it to the glass.
Yep. Jones getting up there, the sophomore Elvin Jones.
As we're saying, Ray Pope, averaging 18 a game. He's done a very solid job tonight, but he hasn't had to do a whole lot. And if they need him in the 4th, Ed Belote's going to have his hands full with another guy.
Yep. Ken Belote looking on. Here's Don McNeil. He's in better shape, 55-41 with 1:42 here in the third.
Zarnecki will have 2 shots.
Zarnecki quieted down here in the third quarter. He had 13 points in the first half. He's only added 1. And this is the front end here. Missed the front end of a 1-and-1 last time.
Free throws, we mentioned all year have been a problem for Adams, which is not normal for them. Last few years, they've been one of the better free throw shooting high school teams around.
He gets it. (55-42). Hope you heard us.
Basket by Marcinio.
If not, that was Marcinio who scored that. Right out.
Was that a 3?
Yeah.
The monitor was right here, and I was still trying to get my headset straightened out here.
Yeah, he's been hypnotized.
He has been. Rideout with 7 now off the bench.
Eagle foul.
Foul on the Eagles, and that is on Rideout.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a foul. He did something wrong. Gee. I'd like to be Ferndale. Really, you can go into the 4th quarter and tell Ray Pope to go crazy. If anyone gets tired. And Jarrett Stevens has done a solid job, but he hasn't had to carry them at all yet. And if they need him defensively, he can just shut down the middle.
A lot of shoving going on, and there is the call, and the push is on Stevens.
Was on Stevens.
Yeah. There was a lot of shoving going on.
Yeah, that's an interesting foul. It's a good call. It's just a weird foul. See if we can take a look at this.
If you can see Stevens right around the top of the key.
Stop it right there. This is Jarrett Stevens. He's pushing this guy right here. Just let it go. He's pushing him out of the way, trying to block the shot. Never touched the shooter.
Yeah.
But they're going to... Oh, okay, 7 fouls. That should be a 1-and-1.
Yeah.
You know what, though? That's not the guy he fouled. I don't care who had the ball. He pushed 50.
Yeah. But the Eagles aren't arguing because he's Zarnecki's 50% from the line, so they'll say, well, we'll take our chance. He makes the first one, though. 57.9 seconds left here in the third. 58-45 the score. Zarnecki here with his second shot. And he gets him. No, there's a whistle here. Basket does count. And
it was a lane violation on Ferndale.
Lane violation, yep.
So you wave it off if the shot goes.
No, it's on.
Yeah, they moved it up to 46.
Okay, it's on a high.
I saw the ref. Oh, all right. No, it was a foul. All right.
Okay, foul on Stevens is what it was. Or was it on the Highlanders? It looks like it was on the Highlanders.
Rabans, yeah.
Stevens comes back. It's another 2 here before the end of the third.
I've never seen that. A foul called while a free throw's in the air. Stevens with a block there.
Jones in the paint, puts it up, gets it to go. Elvin Jones with an NBA shot there. Kind of hung up a little bit.
Yeah, that's interesting shot. It worked. I don't know if that's what Don McNeil wants him to be doing.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Here's Phillips.
Another
Another layup.
What's wrong with him?
Rashad Phillips.
I mean, it took 3 shots, but it only took him 2 shots to do in the first half.
We're working the last shot of this third quarter from way outside. Not good. And Rogenson tried to get it up. He couldn't get it down. And the Eagles come out strong here in that third quarter to kind of run away with that quarter and put a little pressure on the Highlanders. 64-46 now as we start another fresh fourth quarter here. Let's take a look.
See right here, Rashad Phillips comes over, knocks it away at first.
Actually, it was 22.
Oh, it's 22,
McNeil.
you're right. McNeil, he ends up getting it to Rashad Phillips eventually. Rashad Phillips showing that inside game of his with the breakaway layup there. And look at that, 6 points, but it took 2-point shots, you know?
Let's go down to
Get the ball
Don
here,
McNeil.
Mike. You can step in, which makes he got to play you. Go to Murray. This man's got to come. When he comes, now watch this here, Alvin. When he comes, I want you to slide up. Understand? When your man lead to go here, slide up. Jared busts over. All right, let's do it.
Hey, don't let up. Give me some shot passes.
Now turn up to 8. I want to be on 1.
Go right around.
Now 40. Let's move.
And don't forget again, the Master Anglers program. Thursday at 7 p.m. right here on Channel 63. And this is the original.
This is the guy. And
Master
I still
angler.
want to know, though, if he's the original, why does he have 1 fish when number 2 guy here's got 2 fish? I mean, this should be the Master Angler. He's caught more fish, and look at all these patches.
That is why.
There's no patches on this guy. Let's draw a patch on him.
Well, that is why he's gone to the Anglers and added
okay.
the S.
Well,
he doesn't want to claim to be the Master Angler. Okay, we've lost the monitor
we
now.
telestrated it right off the screen.
We did. I think we put a little too many markings on the telestrator. So we need someone to plug us back in here.
But at least we're on the air.
We're on the air. Down on the court. Thank you, sir.
That's part of that network shuffle.
We're back.
We were caught in it.
We were.
Yeah.
Channel 62 is right next to Channel 63. That's
Exactly.
why.
It threw us off. It's blame it on the Fox network.
So the foul down on the court gets us to the free throw line. There we are. We're up
That's
here.
us. We're here.
See us there.
Where are we?
Master Angler. down
Hello,
there.
Master Angler.
And we are up in the rafters. We're in the mezzanine. We're in the cheap seats, folks.
That's right.
We got a good view.
But
up
if it
here.
was a theater, it'd be like balcony. So it wouldn't be cheap.
Elliston misses here, and that's a big miss. Now these free throws are going to hurt if they can't make it. No time running off the clock. It's going to hurt the Highlanders right now.
You get to the hot guy.
Look at the Eagles on the move again.
Oh.
Right out can't hit, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. Zarnecki looks like that'll be on him.
There should be 3 on him.
And that'll be his third if he does pick up that foul. Looks
Right
like it
out.
will.
Right out. Great job of following his shot. Misses the first one right here.
Number 3 on Zarnecki.
Zarnecki was trying to take the charge, and by doing that, he wasn't able to get in position for the rebound, and then he commits the foul as he tried to block the shot on the putback.
Right out hits. That's his 8th point of the night. Rashad Phillips leading the way with 21 after 3 quarters. And Jared Stevens right behind him with 17. Right out, hot. Hitting them both. And Rashad Phillips making it a little interesting now, putting a little pressure on the man bringing it up. Actually, that's not Rashad Phillips, number 32, Carlos Whitmore, who is back in there. He started. We haven't seen much of him.
Oh, and he picks up the foul there. Just a little extra aggressiveness defensively. Again, if you're Ferndale, until Adams makes the free throws on a consistent basis, you don't worry too much about this.
From outside on the free throw line, Crichton has been hitting well from outside that time. Could not hit from the free throw line.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to wait another game to get that confidence boost they've been looking for.
He started well, did well in the first half, and then something happened after halftime. Came out flat.
Yeah, I mean, the talent's there, but again, the experience is such a factor, and you have to look too at who Ferndale's played. They're just they're at a different point in the season. Excuse me. They're at a different point in the season than Adams is in terms of game preparation.
And another whistle down there. Looks like Adams will go to the line again. I think the Eagles know that Adams has had some trouble at the free throw line.
I'm sure he's got his scouts out there.
First personal there for Walker. Mike Walker, number 11. Pope coming back in, and going out is number 24, Elvin Jones.
Pope's coming in, rested, fresh, and I think if he wants to, he can probably go off in the fourth quarter.
66-46, 20-point lead for the Eagles. Wrestling for it, still trying to fight for it. Possession, it'll go to
Adams.
Ferndale. No, Adams.
Yeah, Ferndale got it at the start of the quarter.
That's right.
So it switches again. Jump balls sure would have been nice. That old rule.
In the old days.
Yeah.
Back when you and I played.
Throwback days, right?
Crichton cross court. And Robes, Crichton open on the three momentarily. Underneath Zarnecki for two. First 2 points for Adams here in the fourth.
Yeah, and that's similar to what they were doing earlier with Zarnecki sneaking behind the defense, but I think that's also Ferndale playing a little bit of in football terms, a prevent defense.
Right out in the corner.
Make them take time.
Yeah, Stevens in there, and he puts it down. Stevens still in there.
Oh yeah, I think you got to keep him in there for a little while longer, just because if a team were to get hot from outside or something, you don't want to sit him and then have to bring him back.
Zarnecki having trouble there on those short baseline shots. Witt back out. Elliston, three. Ryan Elliston.
Yeah, he had all day to set up, and great job, just put it in.
Stevens, strong, puts it down.
Once again, he gets position, and there's no one that's going to move him out of the way. And I don't know, there's not much you can do about that unless you've got someone. You don't really need someone as tall as he is. You just need another football player out there to bang him around a little, and they don't have anybody that strong.
Well, Zarnecki is pretty big, but I don't think he's that strong. There's a three. Elliston with his third three-pointer, and it looks like the Highlanders are going to ride on Elliston's shots from outside. There's a turnover, and the Highlanders get it back.
Yeah, well, I've seen enough high school games I can remember where a 6'2" football player comes in strong. And I've seen them out-rebound 6'5", 6'7" guys, just because they put their elbows into them, put their shoulders into them, and wear them down. By the fourth quarter, they don't move. And the football players are a little more used to it. And Jarrett Stevens is a football player.
Elliston misses that time. Rideout goes out. Hey, look at this. Turnover and a quick two for Van Robes.
And all of a sudden,
a little sloppy play. Turnover again.
Huge lead that it was a second ago. Oh. You can't do that.
Won't count traveling.
You can't get up.
You can't get up from the floor.
That's right.
And that was called a traveling. So,
in fact, and I still can't believe this is the rule, but 2 officials have told me this. If you're on the floor and you pick up a loose ball like that and start to dribble it and get up, that's still a travel. I mean, you cannot get up with the ball. That's just a nice tip.
That started it all.
Yep. And Zarnecki gets it right back to Van Robes, an easy layup. And another easy layup.
Carlos Whitmore with his 2 points here. He got a three-pointer back in the first quarter. Look at this, in the paint.
That's a foul.
Witt is fouled over the back, and that foul is on Johnny Peoples.
Most likely.
Peoples, who went in for Omari Rideout, number 21.
Heck, let's see. I want to see who they call this on. He called it on Stevens, I think.
Did he?
Well, let's take a look. Both of them got him, but I think it was. I think you're right.
I thought it was from behind.
Yeah, I'm looking at. They called it on Stevens.
Yep. Now look at that. Like you said, on the pros or
number 2
college, it wouldn't be on him.
But you see from the replay, it doesn't matter who they. So they called it on the wrong guy.
Lester Witt. He's been quiet tonight. That's only his 5th point.
He got those 2 fouls early, and that was something we'd mentioned he really couldn't afford to do. But I think anybody guarding Jarrett Stevens is going to get into foul trouble.
In and out. Rebound taken by Pope. And now Phillips back in there to finish out the game. Phillips driving. Gets it knocked away by Elliston. Now the Highlanders on the run. Elliston puts it down.
Nice spin on that ball.
And here's a foul on
call.
Crichton. Elliston with 8 points here in this fourth quarter.
You know, this was a 20-point lead a couple seconds ago.
Yep. Now you've got plenty of time. 4:22.
Yeah.
72-59. So it's not an insurmountable lead right now. 20 points at this point would have been, but they're not that far off.
No, you're if you get hot from three-point range, you're really right in it.
But the Eagles just have that momentum, and they can go to that bench anytime they want and just come up with some quality players.
And another offensive rebound for
And a
Jared
foul
Stevens.
on Stevens. It's Elliston with the foul. Stevens will go to the line. Stevens has 21 points along with Phillips.
Yeah, who knows how many rebounds the guy's got now. I'd love to know how many offensive rebounds he's got. Once again, they come out to double the play, the shooter, and you just...
It is on the elbow.
You need a lot of luck to out-rebound this guy, and you know, beyond and after the luck, you've still got to use your body a little bit.
Stevens is now 2 of 3 from the free throw line.
Yeah, much improved free throw shooter this year. And if we say that,
All your fault, Joe.
sorry, Jared, if you're watching.
Zarnecki cross court to Van Robes. Highlanders need to make a move now. Need some quick points here. Doesn't look organized down there. Need to get something moving. Here's Elliston in the corner. Got a man. Witt. Lester Witt. Won't go. Stevens. Only one down there. Up ahead. Whitmore. Gets the roll. Will go to the line.
Is this like a shot these guys... this team just keeps throwing this... I don't know what you call it.
Easy,
but
lazy shot up and it goes.
yeah, it's
Shaking
it's
mid
not
there.
a finger roll because it's flat-handed. It's a one-handed push shot, and they keep making it. And it's not the same guy every time either.
Checking in is Marchenia. And going out is Lester Witt, number 24. There you see Whitmore hitting his three-point play. Crichton trying to get trapped down there, and you're going to see a lot of brand new.
They should
Eagles
have an easy
coming in.
layup.
Look at this.
Oh,
they're
well.
going for three, and it's blocked. Stevens out of nowhere blocked the shot.
Well, if they're obviously playing for three-pointers now because that was easy layup.
Look at Stevens fly in from the right.
Wow.
And he just got enough to knock it out of bounds.
You know, and you can't tell from there, but there's 3 or 4 of his teammates. 2 of them I know were sitting at the basket waiting for an easy layup.
Stevens comes out here from outside. Crichton can't hit. Rebound taken there by Aaron Hamel. Excuse me, remember that from football. And Crichton pushes it up court quickly. Marchenia can't get it to go. He's fouled. He'll go to the line.
And I don't think Ferndale's too worried, but that's not the way you want it. If Adams is going to score, excuse me, you want the clock to keep moving.
Phil Hannon, his first personal foul. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's just, you know, good defense, good hard foul, but again, you know, it stops the clock. I don't think it's going to matter, but, you know, from a coaching standpoint, I'm sure they're going to harp on that.
In there, number 34, Hamel, as we mentioned. Vestovich, number 50, in for the Eagles. Also, number 40, Greg Scott. And number 52, Phil Hannon.
Of course, to blow my theory out of the water, if the team doesn't make the free throws, then, you know, hack them all day. Now, there you go.
And Rashad Phillips is also in there to kind of run the offense. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's the guy, too, that you want in there. If Adams gets to the point where they do decide to just foul nonstop, I think that's the guy you want with the ball. And watch him handle the ball. They're not going to steal it from him.
Yeah. Phillips just going to run the offense here. And just kill the clock. He's not going to do anything. In there guarding him for the Highlanders is Mercado, Rob Mercado, and he comes up with a foul. Now they're just sitting on it, and a timeout now being called by Ken Belote.
Yeah.
With 2:32 left here in the fourth quarter. 76-60 the score. And the Highlanders really just trying to make this a little bit more respectable.
Phillips was showing good awareness of the 5-second rules. He kept dribbling in and out of the zones, and there's no way you could call 5 seconds on him, even though he held the ball.
Yeah.
Away on the wing, and you see his numbers. Go after him. Try to get the ball and double team. Okay? That's what you got to do on the average. You just can't let him dribble off the clock on us. Also down here, let's play 50, okay? Let's trap a little bit, get after the ball, gamble, see what we can get. So, let me see. Let's put you up. Okay, you play up, you play wing, you play deep, you play linebacker. Now I want you going all out though, gambling, getting after the ball a little bit, and keep pushing it up the floor. All right, come on, play hard.
I'll join Bubba on the left and Pat on the right as they take you to a new and interesting place each month on Roadshow Video. The guys have a show coming up on the Renaissance Festival, which happened last September. So tune in a few weeks and see that, but they will also be on right after the game tonight, so tune in for that.
Are they still at the Renaissance Festival? I know they were on that farm for a long time.
They were on the farm. They were at a shooting gallery.
They were
Did you see
stuck
that
there
one?
for a long time, though. I mean, let's hope they're still not up there. Let them out.
Rashad Phillips, he's done it all. He's made three-pointers, he's made layups,
Now he's
and
made
now
a free throw.
he's made a free throw. So he's kind of covered
And you
it
know
all.
what? Look at that. Threes and then twos. And I told you he'd make all ones in the fourth.
And
You see, if there was overtime, he'd score nothing.
you talk about progression. And then 0.
Yeah,
So 3, 2, 1, 0.
that's right.
If you're keeping score at home, it should look pretty clean on the slate for you. So going to the line
We
now.
would keep score with the telestrator, but last time we did that.
Yeah. Phil Hannon will go to the line. Mike Walker checks in. Rashad Phillips will have a seat for the rest of the night. And the Eagles will get some playing time out of some players who would normally not get into the game. From outside. Trying to tip it in. Scott put it in.
Well, I thought it'd be a travel, but
79-60 with 2:24 left, and we're going to see a lot of trips to the line now with a lot of these players who haven't seen much action getting in. Checking in now is DeGazio, number 52 for the Highlanders.
DeGazio in for Adams. At the line, 1-1.
At the line will be Rogenson. Also Jason Stesney in there right behind Rogenson, number 12.
I think Ferndale, if Don McNeil gets a chance, he's going to remind these guys, we're winning. Huh? Just let the clock run. Adams should do all the fouling.
Sometimes you want to see what these guys can come up with, so you let them go. But you don't want to see fouls.
No.
It's true. 79-62 now after the 2 free throws made, and the Highlanders putting pressure on and get a steal. Double team. No, he gets it across. Time was running out on the Eagles, too. Hannon from outside. Phil Hannon with the 2. The Eagles continue to pump them in.
Well, there's a good attempted an offensive rebound by Adams.
Hannon with the rebound. Pressure put on by the Highlanders. And the Eagles get it across. Here's a double pump. Won't go. Rebound Hannon. Hannon turns around. Can't get it to fall. Inside. Yes, they do. Greg Scott puts down his second field goal.
Now, see it now. You notice they are not getting anywhere near the guys with the ball. They're going to let them get the shots off.
Mercado for 3. Rob Mercado.
Well, there they do get the steal.
And the 3 from outside. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
it
wow.
goes. Marchenia.
Well, 5 more of those and you get a tie game.
83-68 the score. 1:13 left in the contest. And going to the line will be number 34, Aaron Hamel.
That's just good pressure defense by Adams, and they get back, and that's the second 3 they hit in a span of about 10 seconds, and this one kind of the entertaining variety.
Fouls on White 52 for DeGazio.
DeGazio with the foul. There you saw number 14, Marchenia, going out. He just hit the 3 earlier. And at the line, Hamel won't go. Rebound.
They get it
Finally taken now by Scott. Scott working outside along with Peoples. Inside, and it goes. Aaron Hamel.
I think at this point they're just I think both teams are just kind of having a little fun and seeing what they can get out of this last minute.
Eagles coming back now. Open man down court, puts it up and in. That's Vestovich. And they're just getting everybody on the bench with some points.
I was hoping for a dunk.
From outside, no. The shot by DeGazio wouldn't go. Ball scramble on the floor.
Nice pass.
Good pass, bounce, and in. And that's Ray-Ban.
Great pass, though. By Mercado, I believe. Oh, that's a goaltend.
Yeah. Let's see. What are they going to do?
That's a goal. They just called goaltending on there. I don't know if we'll be able to see it.
So who got the shot then? Is it
Let's take a look here.
Scott? Let's take
There's
a look.
a shot.
Scott?
You
No
can watch
basket.
the
In and out.
Oh, all right. It was an offensive player.
Offensive.
Yeah. Well, I saw the guy grab the rim and he gave a goaltending signal.
Scott took the shot, but I didn't know who would get the bucket if he touched it, but it was offensive. That's for 2. Nope. Rebound taken strong by Hannon. And this will kill out the clock. It should. Nope, it won't. One last whistle down on the floor as Greg Scott hits the floor. For 3. And that'll do it. The Eagles come up strong. Don McNeil over Ken Belote's Highlanders. The Highlanders drop to 2 and 3. The Ferndale Eagles go to 5 and 3.
Yeah, that was, great effort by Ferndale. You see that they're definitely Rashad Phillips and Jarrett Stevens are the main men, but they're a lot more than just those 2 guys.
Well, Don McNeil's Eagles took control in that 3rd quarter and didn't look back in the 4th. 87-70 the final score here at Ferndale. We'll be back to wrap things up for you with some final stats right after these messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
The final score, 87-70, the Ferndale Eagles over the Adams Highlanders. And Joe Abramson down courtside has 2 of the biggest players of this season, and really the 2 guys that we've been talking about all season long. It's Rashad Phillips and Jarrett Stevens. Joe?
Yeah, Dave, the 2 guys we were talking about all night, and if you're going to play Ferndale, the first 2 guys you think about trying to stop. And we're going to start with the junior, Rashad Phillips. First half, hitting nothing but 3s, and then we noticed 3rd quarter, he hit nothing but 2s, and the only points you scored in the 4th was a 1, so you kind of worked your way down. But what was going on with those 3-pointers in the first half?
Well, in practice, I work on my jump shot all the time, so, when I feel it coming, I just let it go. It's all confidence behind my shot.
And what was the deal, though, with the last one before halftime out in Dan Marley range, way out in the back? Is that something you honestly think you're going to make?
Yeah, most of the time, because I do it in practice all the time. Every time we have a scrimmage and it's like a couple of seconds left, coach give it to me, and, I shoot it from way out. So, yeah, that was a Dan Marley type, but.
All right, and one of the other things I noticed on the fast break, obviously the first guy you look to is the big guy here. You threw a nice alley-oop to him with the left hand. Is that another thing you guys just do in practice all the time?
Yeah, I throw on something in practice all the time. Everybody throwing something, but I'm the only one that throwing perfect. So, I just seen him behind me. He's 6'8", so, I'm going to leave it up there for him.
So when he's not here next year, you'll just throw the perfect pass to somebody else?
Yeah, they just finish it with a layup.
All right, now we'll go to the big guy, the senior, Jarrett Stevens. Just your usual big game, got all kinds of offensive rebounds, all kinds of putbacks, got the easy dunk that Rashad gave to you. There are a whole lot of guys that can handle you strength-wise around here?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's sending 2 and 3 people at me every game, so it's kind of hard. It's been happening the last 3 years, so I'm just getting better at it.
I say, is that something you say the last 3 years, and really even as a freshman, is it something you're just kind of used to now?
Pretty much so. We practice against the zone a lot because we know a lot of teams like to zone us because they think it's easy, to check us when we're in the zone, but I don't think so.
All right, well, we already know what you guys have been doing this season. Obviously, you're going to be one of the better teams around. As far as you're concerned, are you still thinking more about being a basketball player when you go to college, or is football still in the picture?
I'm leaning more towards basketball right now, so I'm not sure.
Just something we'll have to wait and see, right?
Yeah.
Anything you got as far as basketball that you want to do the rest, as far as the high school season goes on? Any goals you have for yourself?
Oh, I want to win a state championship, and Mr. Basketball would be nice too. But just got to keep working hard at it.
I guess beating Traylor and Murray Wright's a good way to start off on doing that.
It's a real good way to start off.
All right, well, good luck the rest of the season. I don't know if we're going to see Ferndale again this year, but it's been a lot of fun watching him for the last 4 years. Back up to you, Dave.
It sure has, Joe, and two of the players, Rashad Phillips and Jarrett Stevens, we're going to hear a lot from them this 1995 season. The final score, 87-70. We'll be back with the final stats for you right after these messages. Stay with us.
Where are Pat and Brad going to be this month? You'll find out on the next edition of Roadshow Video. Each month, Pat and Brad take you to a new and interesting location. Check out what Southeast Michigan has to offer and watch some of the best hit videos on television. That's Roadshow Video, coming up next on TCI 63.
Back at Ferndale High School, Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson, and the final score 87-70. The Eagles took off in the second half, and they landed finally in the end of the fourth quarter, and they came up with a big victory.
Yeah.
25-46 Adams in field goals, 36-54, 67% to 54%. That's because a lot of those in the second half for Ferndale were layups.
Easy layups.
Easy shots.
Easy layups. And the few times that they did miss, Jarrett Stevens was there to put it back in for him.
Yeah, free throws, Adams 61% to Ferndale's 58. And turnovers 17 to 21. Rebounds 25 to 15. Ferndale out-rebounded because they did have those easy shots underneath. They were able to just put them right back up.
Again, I bet you Stevens had more than 15 rebounds himself.
The big story was that third quarter. Ferndale 22 to 10 beating Adams point-wise there. Adams had stayed with them in the first half, and then Ferndale took off in the third. And with that big lead, Adams really couldn't come back in that fourth.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of having too many weapons. And we talked about Stevens and Rashad Phillips, and then you've got Rideout and Pope and all these other guys contributing. Can't stop all of them, not for an entire game.
In 2 weeks, don't forget to tune in. It'll be Southlake against Clawson. That's January 21st and 23rd at 7 p.m. right here on Channel 63. Some of the high scores, we saw Rashad Phillips and Stevens. Both of them had 22 points to lead the way for the Eagles. For the Highlanders, respectively, it was Zarnecki with 19 points, followed by Van Robes with 12. So there you have it. The Eagles, they're the ones who came out on top 87-70 over the Highlanders here at Ferndale High School to kick off this 95 season. So join us in a couple of weeks. It'll be Southlake against Clawson. For Joe Abramson, I'm Dave Zorin and all of our hardworking staff. Join us in a couple of weeks when we see Clawson take on Southlake. Thanks for tuning in.